Getting in news that the United States has paused the process of accepting the new Pakistan ambassador to the United States. Masood Khan was going to be sent as the new ambassador, but the United States has paused the move owing to his possible terror links. Let me go across to my colleague Niranjan, who's joining us with more details. Niranjan, I believe earlier on, the United States had delayed the approval of Pakistan's ambassador designate, and now they've paused the entire process owing to his possible terror links. Once again, exposes Islamabad's deep terror links and how it's known to the entire world. All the global powers are aware of what's going on.
Yes, in fact, this letter has been accessed by Abhishek Kapoor as well, our senior executive editor. I have the letter with me. There has been a growing demand within America, and many senior congressmen have spoken out against this person who was nominated by Pakistan to be the next US ambassador. And I have this letter with me. Let me read out some of the excerpts of this letter. By the way, this is a letter written by a US congressman, signed off here by Scott Perry, member of Congress, 10th District, Pennsylvania. Essentially, the story being that Pakistan's ambassador, Pakistan's nominated ambassador to the US has been paused. That appointment has been paused, almost blocked. Let me go across to Abhishek joining us with the details. Abhishek, some of the terms used for this man, I think his name is Masood Khan. We have his pictures. We'll put his pictures on air as well. Appointment of Masood Khan. Now, this congressman writes that it's with grave concern that we know that the appointment, the appointment of Masood Khan as Pakistan's ambassador to the US. Nomination of a bona fide terror sympathizer working to undermine our interests in the region as well as the security of our Indian allies can only be described as a breathtaking lack of judgment at best. Abhishek, tell us more about this man. His picture is also on surface. I'll ask my video journalist to focus on that's Masood Khan. I will just show the picture of Masood Khan as well. And Abhishek can tell us a little bit about Masood Khan. Yeah. Abhishek.
Niranjan, Niranjan, so Masood Khan is a Pak diplomat of 1980 batch of the Pakistani Foreign Service. He has been spokesperson of the Pakistan Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He has been Pakistan's ambassador to the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, as also Pakistan's permanent representative at the UN in New York. So, and before that, he has been a second counselor at the Pakistan embassy in Washington, D.C. So it's like he has been up and around, but what is important that he is a Kashmiri descent guy from the Pakistani Punch district, Pakistan occupied Punch district, and he has been a known terror sympathizer. In the case of India, he has been speaking openly in support of Hizbul Mujahideen, which is a proscribed terror organization even by the United States. He is someone who has praised Burhan Wani, and Niranjan, he is someone who, in the case of United States, has supported Afia Siddiqui, who is a convicted terrorist in a US prison. In fact, recently we had a terror incident when a Pakistani origin man from London flew down to the US and carried out that terror attack in which few people lost their lives. And this man, Masood Khan, who has also been appointed during an interim period when the Pakistani army ruled, I think, president of the Pak-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He has praised Afia Siddiqui and wanted America to release Afia Siddiqui and was wanting to put pressure on the Americans. Now we hear that the US State Department, after his appointment of a few months back by the Imran Khan government as ambassador
Abhishek, stay with me.
DC,
Abhishek,
State Department has put his appointment on hold.
Abhishek, just sorry to interrupt you there. Just bear with me. I have Abdul Samad Yaqub of the PTI. That's the ruling party in Pakistan, PTI, and he's joining us on the phone line. Mr. Yaqub, this is the US congressman, and we are hearing that your terror sympathizer, Burhan Wani backer, Afia Siddiqui backer, his name is Masood Khan, and his appointment has been paused in the US. It's a big setback for you. I mean, you already have a ruined relationship with America. Even American congressmen are, by the way, calling him an Islamic terrorist backer, and that he's embraced Pakistan's identity as a super terrorist state, and that he's a supporter of terror groups like Jamaat-e-Islami. I think it's extremely shameful that such a deep state terror backer was sent as a diplomat by your country, Mr. Yaqub?
Well, the former president of Azad Kashmir, Masood Khan, has an impressive career throughout his life. I mean, he was ambassador to UN then in Geneva, and then he was a spokesperson of the foreign ministry. I object, as you said, that he's a terrorist sympathizer. I would say that I would rather say that he was a freedom fighter sympathizer, and we don't find anything wrong if someone is sympathizing freedom fighters. If some congressmen raised concerns about him, it's not a big issue. I mean, usually the practice is, even if America appoints his ambassador to Pakistan, it's ambassador to Pakistan, it cannot be appointed unless Pakistan accepts it. And the same is done by any other country. If we have appointed him as an ambassador, it is necessarily...
I have to correct you.
It must be accepted by...
We are not saying that Masood Khan is a terror sympathizer. We are actually quoting an American congressman, Scott Perry, who has asked State Department of the United States to not let the appointment of Masood Khan happen. He has asked the credentials of Masood Khan not to be accepted on the grounds that he is a terror sympathizer, not just in the case of Kashmir, but also in the case of United States, because he has been asking for clemency for Afia Siddiqui, who is the convicted terrorist in an American prison.
Does it really matter that if a single congressman raised or shown some concerns? I mean, if America appoints some, it's a matter to Pakistan, and some parliamentarian raised their concern over the appointee. What is wrong with it? Well, it's not a big deal. I mean,
Mr. Yaqub, I think you're confused. I'll tell you why.
No,
sir,
it's not a big deal.
No.
The U.S. State Department has put his appointment on hold. They have put a pause to the process. They are not letting Masood Khan present his credentials to the President of the United States. How can you say it's a small matter?
Then if India, although there is no High Commissioner of India in Pakistan and no High Commissioner of Pakistan in India, if later on you appoint someone as your High Commissioner to Pakistan, if we accept him, then it will be appointed. So it's not a big deal if America has shown or Congressman has shown some reservations on him. I mean, usually things work in this way.
स्टोरी मिस्टर अब्दुल समाद याकूब, ये थोड़ा आप समझ लीजिए, ये जो स्टोरी है मिस्टर याकूब, the US is calling Pakistan out. I think you're not getting the news point. Let me tell you the news point. You have nominated an ambassador. That ambassador has been paused by America, not India. I know you think India has a role in everything. Yes, we are extremely influential. That's why this US congressman... No, I am telling you, sir. But sir, I am trying to tell you that he has been paused. Your ambassador has been blocked by America. What are you saying? The appointment has been paused. And you know the reasons that they're citing? The reasons they're citing is that he's a terror backer. India is not saying it. It's an American congressman saying it. And it's the US State Department blocking him. One last response from you, Mr. Yaqub.
Again, it's simply sometimes there are diplomats which are sent back by declaring them non persona grata. So diplomatic relations or diplomatically, if we appoint some ambassador, it can only be appointed if America accepted him as.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Yaqub, we'll take a short break. We'll come back with the story. Abhishek, stay with us. And we'll come back with more breaking news updates and reactions on this big story. Stay tuned.